It seems then, Ellie, that all legal avenues have been absolutely exhausted here.
Yes, it does seem that way. This is a tragic set of circumstances, and even though we're coming to the end of this story, there will be no winners and there will be no happy ending. Archie Battersbee's life support is planned to be switched off at 11 o'clock this morning. That is unless his parents can submit another last-minute legal bid, this time to move Archie to a hospice. Now, I have just been told that their lawyers are working really hard on that last-minute legal bid. The deadline is at 9 o'clock this morning. I do think it's going to come right down to the wire with this one. Now, of course, this comes as last night the European Court of Human Rights, they refused an application from Archie's parents to delay any changes to his treatment. They said they couldn't intervene in any UK court rulings, and perhaps that won't come as a surprise to legal experts who said yesterday that legal precedent was not in the family's favour. You might remember the case in 2017 of Charlie Gard, which were similar tragic circumstances, and even then the ECHR said they couldn't intervene in UK court rulings, and that's exactly what they said yesterday with Archie Battersbee's case, and that follows defeats for Archie's parents in all UK courts, twice in the High Court, once in the Appeal Court, and finally in the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. All of the judges saying pretty much the same thing. They consider Archie to be brainstem dead, and they say there is no prospect for any meaningful recovery. They say it's in his best interest for his treatment to be withdrawn. So it does seem at this point as though every legal avenue has been taken. All that remains is that final legal bid now to move Archie to hospice care. That deadline is at 9 o'clock and it is fast approaching.
Was posted on what you hear on that. We understand that in lots of these court hearings, the argument against being moved to a hospice was because it could create a more chaotic death and the risk of organ failure and heart failure and all the rest of it. Very much, though, the wishes of the family. Tell us why they really want him away from the hospital.
Well, Isabel, this is a huge point of tension between the hospital and the parents of Archie Battersbee. Yesterday, Holly Dance, which is Archie Battersbee's mother, she came out and spoke to reporters very emotively about the reasons why she wants her son moved to hospice care. She very much believes that the hospice has let Archie down. The hospital, has let Archie down. She doesn't want him to die within those hospital walls. She wants him to be away from the chaos and the noise, she says, of the Royal London Hospital. She wants him to be in the peace and serenity of a hospice. She was describing yesterday the fresh air, the birds tweeting and the squirrels in the garden of the hospice. She very much pictures that as the place where she'd like her son to die. Now, the hospital say that it would be not in Archie's best interest to move Archie at this point. They say if they were to move him, it would cause him to deteriorate quicker, and it's not something that they would support at this time. They have given this statement. This is from Barts Health NHS Trust. They have said that our deepest sympathies remain with Archie's family, and we aim to provide the best possible support to everyone at this difficult time. Well, yesterday, Holly Dance also mentioned that two countries had come forward and suggested that they could offer care to Archie. That was Japan and Italy, and she was very much clinging on to hope that perhaps they could take Archie abroad to receive that treatment. But it does seem as though if the hospital won't allow Archie to go to a local hospice, they probably won't allow him to go overseas to receive treatment. So we are fast approaching that 9 o'clock deadline now, about 50 minutes to go until his parents have to have in that late last-minute bid to move Archie to hospice care, and I do think it's going to come right down to the wire this morning.
Yeah, a really tragic story. Ellie, thank you for bringing us the latest.